If you're interested in agriculture, specifically poultry farming for meat, this video is for you. We're going to look at the startup capital that will be required, the operational cost that you'll be looking at, as well as the profitability with projection of up to 5 years. Like I mentioned in the intro, this video is aimed at taking you through what it means or what is required to set up a poultry business specifically for meat. Now, here are some of the key things that you need to note before I get into the whole video. Usually, this business takes about 35 to 37 days for the chicken to mature. We're going to look at a case study of 2,000 birds. Here are the numbers. For 2,000 birds, your initial startup cost is going to be anywhere about 13.7 million Uganda shillings, and this cost of 13,700,000 Uganda shillings is actually going to be taken up mainly by the construction to put up a house where your chicken will be. Like some of the houses that we've looked at, they require a spacing of about 12 birds per square meter. There, the initial cost will go to your solar lighting, because the birds eat 24 hours, so you need constant lighting. And then the other will be setting up the water system in the house. And if you see the farm that we visited, this is the sort of water system that they had set up, and it will cost you average of about 700,000 Uganda shillings to set this up. This has about a lifespan of about 3 years, give or take, depending on how you take care of it, and also how you handle it and take care of it. For 2,000 birds, your production cost is going to be anywhere about 18.814 million Uganda shillings. So your cost drivers in terms of operational cost and production cost will be two things: the feeds and the birds, the chicks that the young ones. The feeds, you'll find you're spending about 2,100 Uganda shillings per kilo, and the young birds, the chicks, you'll spend about 2,300 Uganda shillings per bird. So for your 2,000 birds, you'll be looking at about 4 point something, but for 4.6, and for the feeds, you'll be looking at, for the bird to grow from the time it's a chick to the time it's mature in the 37 days, it will consume anywhere about 3 kilograms per bird. Now, there are two major issues in this business that you need to look at. The two key things are mortality and your weight rate. Your mortality has to be anywhere below 5%. Anything above 5% will eat into your profit. And the weight of your chicks at the end of it, you need to work for at least 1.75 kilograms per bird as a mature bird. The average price rate right now for meat is about 6,000 shillings per kilo. So you'll find for your 2,000 birds at a mortality of 5%, you will get a gross revenue of about 20,370,000 Uganda shillings. That will be your gross profit from the meat. But you have also additional to make some little money in terms of the other things, the other opportunities that you have at the farm. And one of them is the old coffee husks. So for a farm of 2,000 birds, you will use about 10 bags of coffee husks for the whole period. So at the end of it all, you'll find that you'll get 2.5 times in terms of this used coffee husk. And these things are bought for about 5,000 shillings per bag. So you'll be looking at making an extra about 125,000 Uganda shillings on top of the 20,370,000 shillings that you're making from the meat. Now, from the gross revenue that you make from the meat, the 20,370,000 shillings, plus the 125 extra that you're making from the old husks that are from the houses. If you get that and you take off the production cost of the 18 million that we talked about earlier, you'll find that you have a net revenue of about 1.68 million per batch. Here's the thing: in a year, you're able to do about 7 batches, right? So if you do 7 batches in a year, you'll find that your annual revenue and your net profit will be about 11,760,000 Uganda shillings. Now, if you're to do the projections for 5 years, remember, in your first year, you have a startup capital of 13.7 million Uganda shillings, which is taken up mainly by the construction, the solar system, and the water system. The water system and the solar system have a lifespan of 3 years, while the building, obviously, for it has a very long lifespan. But I'm doing a 5-year projection. You'll find that you'll be able to break even in the 8th batch. That will be just over a year. You'll be able to break even. And after that, if you look at the numbers, Your first year, you obviously operate on a loss. You'll make a loss for about 1.9 million Uganda shillings. And in the second year, you'll be able to make about 11.7 million Uganda shillings. The second year, the third year, you'll be able to make exactly the same. That is, if things remain constant, 11.7 million Uganda shillings. And for the fourth year, because then now you'll have to reinvest in the solar system and the water system, your net profit will drop down to about 10 million. All right. And then in the fifth year, you'll bump back to 11.7 million. What this means is that in this particular business, with 2,000 birds, and with these numbers that we've looked at, with a mortality rate of 5% and 1.75 kilograms per bat, those are the two most important numbers, you will be able to break even in just over a year. Just like any other business, this business has its challenges. And there are mainly two major challenges. One of them is disease at the farms. Gombolo is a very big issue, and if it's not taken care of, your weights are going to fail. If you fail to make the weights, your profit will be eaten into. The other thing will be mortality rate. Keep that low as much as possible. I'm going to share with you an Excel document that you can just download and play around with the numbers, mainly on the mortality rate and the weight of the chicken, and that will show you how profitable or how not profitable your farm can be. All right, that's it from me as far as the poultry farming is concerned, mainly specifically poultry farming for meat. If you're interested in all these numbers, there's a link to an Excel sheet and a PDF document that breaks down all these numbers, and from there you're also able to play around with the mortality rates and the weights to see how it affects your profitability or your losses for the farm. Follow the link down in the description, play around with it and see if this business is the right fit for you. With that, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell as well so you're updated with my next videos. Don't miss anything. If entrepreneurship is your thing, this is your channel. And with that, I will see you on the next one.